species cubes in the middle. Oops, what am I doing here? This is a joke. I can't just do a regular recording without any mishaps. But okay, I mean, you're used to that if you know my channel. We only have 5 of 12 at the moment. So that was wonderful. Good job, Solitaire. Good job. This is your calling. Obviously. That is fine, 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 and super fine. That I will give you after I have finished playing. There's a lot of invasive species. Oh my. Hey everyone, this is Solitaire back with another video for the Solitaire Print and Play Game Design Contest, currently hosted on Board Game Geek. I also covered it last year and I'm covering it this year as well. And there are a few games I will be playing through, showcasing to you. And today I will be showcasing Tubbataha by Kevin Preval. That name may actually ring a bell to you because I already covered one of his games last year. That was Terror Jewels. I covered that for the Team C's project by Mr. Beast, when my channel was quite a bit smaller than it is now. So, and today we'll be playing through his newest game. As we are used to, this is quite a complex game, so it will take a little bit to set up. For you, it will be quite quick. But it will be a little bit to set up. There are quite a few rules I need to explain to you. I will probably do that while playing. And also, it's not only complex, but it's also quite hard. So I can't even promise you that I will win the game, right? So, but without further ado, let me just first quickly set up the game. And, well, I will see you when I'm done with that. And that should be pretty much the setup of the game. I hope I didn't forget anything, but I think that's it. So you see there's quite a lot going on here. Actually, once you get into it, once you understand the game, it's less than it looks like, but it is quite a lot to get into at first. Okay, let me just give you a quick overview and then I will just probably start playing and explain the game while we go, because there's just a lot of moving pieces here as usual. So let me see. So we have our reef board here. Here we have the reef, right? And you see at the top we have fish. At the bottom we have corals. So these are different species. It is our goal within a maximum of 8 rounds. As you can see here, we have a round tracker with the dark cube here. These cubes are supposed to be black, by the way. I don't have any black cubes, which is kind of strange because I have all kinds of colors. So I take dark brown, so just imagine these are black in case you want to play it yourself and you're wondering why I'm using different colors here. This is our reef, and within 8 rounds we need to introduce all 12 species into the reef. These species are here at the moment and we need to get them in our tanks and then into the reef later on. This is a card driven game. You see here on the left we have cards here. These cards can only be used for the coral side, and these only for the fish side. This is divided into 2 sections. So we have the corals at the bottom and the fish at the top, as I just said, and everything we use up here, abilities, tools, the cards, we can only use them for the top half, and the everything down here for the bottom half. But the large circles here in the middle, they belong to both halves, right? So with everything up here, I can do everything except for these 2. And down here, I can use that for everything except the top 2 here. So we are a little bit more free than it looks like. Okay, so what else do we see here? Well, these dice I already told you. These here at the bottom look a little bit different than those. Don't mind that. These are supposed to be yellow. I don't have any of these dice in yellow because I hardly use them, right? So we have green, red, blue. I took like a teal kind of blue and a light kind of green so you can see it better on camera. These are supposed to be just yellow, right? So don't mind that these are a little bit weird. I think these are even dice with like with like beer on them, so it doesn't quite fit, but I didn't have any other dice. These print and play games always like demand the craziest components, and it's not that crazy to have yellow dice and black cubes, but I just don't have those, right? Then we have 3 plankton dice up here. We can add a 4th one later on. We have 3 dice up there, 3 dice down here. These can only be used for the respective side again. And these are used to feed our species. We need to feed all species in these tanks here, and we need to feed all species in here. If we don't, then either dice are removed from here and put back into the tanks, or if they're in the tanks, they are reduced by 1 die. So our goal, it is our goal to get these dice into our tanks. That means you increase them to the number that corresponds with the same color. Right here would be 5, right? So we would have to increase that to a 5 somehow, and then put it on there. And if we did do that with all 12 dice, and there are no invasive species left here, then we win the game. If we do that with an 8 rounds. This is much harder than it looks like. And I didn't orient them all right here, but I think that's not a problem. Well, let me just quickly do that. All right, like this. So now it looks a little bit better. Okay, so, and there are like 2 to 3 more things I need to kind of explain to you, and then we can get into the game, and I will explain the rest as we go. So the other thing is here, these white cubes are just more tool cubes, just in case we can use more of those. Then we have the invasive species. I don't have one right now, but if I ever draw an invasive species, maybe there's one in here, so I can show you how that looks like. Yeah, there's one in here. That's how they look like, and then there's a color here on the very left, and there you can see like where the invasive species will be put, which color, right? And then, for example, let's say it would be put here, then I will put it there, and that means all dice that are there later on will, of course, that's the wrong die. It would have to be a green one with a 6, but the feeding requirement is 1 more. So I always have to feed as much as the little circles here with the plankton indicate. So here would be 2, but with the invasive species it would be 3. And there's some kind of mechanism like you have in Pandemic. If there are like 3 cubes ever on such a chip here, then if I add another if I add another cube, I have to add cubes to the neighboring parts, the neighboring circles, right? And that can spread even more. So that is one thing that is really important, but I can get rid of those, and you should always get rid of those as soon as possible. At least that's my tactic at the moment. Let's see if that works out today. So that is the next thing, and then we have these tool cubes here. So in general, this game is mainly driven by cards. So I will show you how these cards work when we start playing, but you can use these cards to do things, to do pretty much anything. But you also have a tool cube up here and one down here, and you see like these 6 light boxes here. Right? They might be a little bit small, but if you're watching on TV or anything, then you can see them a little better, but I will explain later what they do. And we can put a tool cube on here to also do an action. And you can get a tool cube later on, an additional one, later on. So that is one thing that is also important. So all your actions are driven by cards and by these tool cubes. And the last thing I will show you before we will just start playing is that we have like a research track here. We can research by putting tool cubes on this research one here, for example, but we can also have like research on the cards, and then we can advance the tracker, and at some point when the cube is up here, then we can, depending on which side we actually triggered the last movement here, we can do one of these 5 actions or one of these 5 actions, right? These give us like another plankton die, for example, which is really helpful, or just different other things, right? So we can have one tool cube here to remove 1 invasive species at the bottom here each turn, and things like that. So that is pretty handy. Actually, while I'm at it, let me explain the other ones too. This one means that I can use a tool cube that is there if I have researched that to draw the bottom card in the discard pile. So I can use that one. Then this here means that I can do an action a second time. So let's say I just did one action, and the most recent one I can repeat. And this one here can add 3 pips to across all my plankton dice down here, which is really helpful as well. So that is pretty much what all these research things are going to do. And that is pretty much it, actually. And now I'd say that I will just start playing. So the round always starts with 4 cards each in these decks, 4 cards turned face up, and the rest of the cards, like 8, are just put aside on a discard pile, right? Let me see. I think that I need to fix the focus a little bit. So now it's fine. I think the focus was not quite right, but now it should be okay. I hope so, at least. It's all pretty small, but I think it's better now. But I will read everything to you anyway, right? Whenever you need that, or we need to do that. Okay, so enough with the clicking. Now we continue. So, and now I can use these cards for my main actions. You see, they always have like a top and a bottom and a middle action. The top action can only be used up here in the fish area. The bottom action can only be used down here in the coral area. The middle action can be used anywhere, right? So that's important to know. So let me see, what do we have here? Increase health of any red fish species die by 1. Well, we don't have any red fish species die yet. Move an action card to the coral restoration tableau. That is pretty cool. I can use that card to move a card from down here up there. And you see, for example, we have like advance the research track 2 spaces. That would be great. Oh, by the way, let's put that back down because research is important. So let's first get some dice into our tanks here so we can start manipulating the pips and trying to introduce a few species here. So that would be great, but we can't really do that here yet. Remove 2 invasive species, repeat top fish action. So we don't have anything to introduce species here at the moment. So that is pretty bad, actually. So we will not be able to do a whole lot yet, but let me show you something. So let's use that card here, move an action card to the coral restoration tableau. No, take an action card from the coral restoration tableau, this one here. I will discard that one to move that one up here, right? And then I will use that one here, advance the research track 2 spaces. I think that is not too bad. So we can just move up here 2 spaces, 4 more spaces, and we can have our first research action that we can unlock. I will most likely unlock the next plankton dice first. Yeah, I think that's because feeding becomes really important later on. So, and now you see we have like we have like a hand limit of 4 always, like at the top and at the bottom, and we can always like draw up to 4 cards again if we want to. There's a little pushy luck mechanism because we can of course uncover an invasive species, and then we will have a little issue, but we can remove invasive species here and also there, so we have no worries. They're just the wrong way around, but I can move an action card up there, and I can move an action card down there. So I have a little bit of flexibility here. Reintroduce 1 fish species into the reef. That is pretty good. Okay, here we have invasive species. So how that works now is as follows. Let me just increase the focus so you can see that. So you see this key symbol. So we take a look at the key in the respective area. That is down here. That is over here. Or we can see it in the background, and then we see the red color, right? So what we do is, let me readjust the focus. That we take one of the invasive species cube, we start here, and then we go clockwise and look for a red chip without a die on it, and that's this one here. So now there is 1 invasive species added. Since that is in the middle, we can use actions from the top and bottom to remove it. Alright, so that one is removed, but I will take another one. Alright, so let's see. That is not too bad. We have another remove 2 invasive species, so we are doing okay here. Alright, so let me see. I think what I will do now is actually use my tool cubes, because there are a few actions here we can take. Some of them are like transferring cards or transferring dice here, also removing invasive species we have here, and also like increasing the die of the value of a die that is here, right? But that one here, that with the arrow, like the circle with the arrow, you also have it down here. That one is very important. That lets us take one of these dice and put them here. There are also cards that let us do that, but we are really unlucky we don't have any of those. So I will have to use my cubes to do so. So we see here, increase health of any red fish species. That would not be too bad, right? We could start like getting these die here and also increasing them already. So what I will do is I will put that one here, right? and then I will take one of these dice here to put them over here in one of these tanks, right? I will put it here for now. So that is not too bad. So now we have that die here, and what we can do is now we can use that here, increase health of any red fish species by 1. So we can take this one and just increase that by 1. So we are now at a 4 here. We need to put we need to get that to a 5, a 6, or a 4. I mean, we could already introduce it here, right? Then we would also already have the first die here, because we don't want to clog up all these spaces here. We just need to make sure that we can feed that one. To feed that one at the end of the round, we need 5 pips on a plankton. We have that. If we can also just leave it here and feed it up here, we would also only need a pip of 1. But I mean, 5 is fine, right? So we could also already introduce it down here. That would be pretty nice. And we have that. Reintroduce 1 fish species into the reef. We could actually do that. Why don't we start doing that? So reintroduce 1 fish species into the reef. Let's use that one, and we can introduce that here. Right? Because remember, the top actions always go for the top here and also for the middle. And down here for the bottom and the middle. At least that's how I understood it. If there are any rules that I'm getting wrong, as usual, take a look at the pinned comment where I will put any corrections. Okay, so, and what else can we do? We could also get another die maybe here, right? Because we have a blue die that we can increase the health of. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Yellow actually. You know what? Let's do that. Let's take this one here, take a yellow die, also a 3, put it in here, and then we will increase the health by 1. So, like this. And that would be enough for that one in the middle there, because these all can be fed with just 1 die, right? That is pretty good. That is actually pretty nice. So one thing that's important to note is 5 is pretty high, right? But we can also place several plankton dice there that add up to 5, right? So like the 3 and the 2 down here would be fine. But placing each plankton die counts as a different action, right? But you see here, like all these plankton symbols here in the middle, these are all placing plankton dice actions. So that is an action that you can do quite easily, but you need to, because at the end you will have 12 dice here, right? You will need 12 actions actually. No, not quite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 actions, but still, that's a lot. You only have 12 cards, right? So that's going to be quite tough. Okay, so we could introduce that one maybe. Let's see. No, we can't introduce it yet. We don't have anything for that. Not yet, but we can still, you know what? Let's still draw a few cards here. Let's draw these 2. Nice. And then let's draw also one here. And there we got it. Reintroduce 1 coral species into the reef. I will definitely do that. I will use that one and reintroduce that one over here. So that is pretty cool. So now we have 2 already, right? So we have 2 of 12. That's what we need to do. Get all 12 in here, remove all invasive species, and then we are golden. Actually, do we need to draw any more cards? I think we're doing actually okay now. So let's see. This one is not too interesting here. Increase health of any blue coral species. It's not going to help us. That's not going to help us. Retrieve 1 tool cube is not bad, right? We could just retrieve a tool cube and then use it again. I think that's what I'm going to do. Let me retrieve that tool cube and then and also retrieve 1 tool cube down here, because that's pretty good. So now we have two tool cubes again. So we could either put some dice here. You know what I'm going to do? I think I will use the bottom one here, the bottom cube, to advance the research track 1 space. And then you see we have another action here. Advance the research track 2 spaces. So I will do that. So we're almost at the top, which is pretty nice actually. And then we can actually, you know, I have an idea. Can I do that? Because I would love to use that action here, but we would have to move the card down here. But I think we can't really do that. Actually, we can. Because we do have the tool cube, right? And you see that hand here with the arrow. That hand with the arrow lets us take 1 card here and move it down here. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put that here. I move that card down here. And then I can use that one here, which says repeat top coral action in the discard pile. Which is that one here. It says advance the research track 2 spaces. So 1 space and another space. So we're now at the bottom of the track again. We reached that star. So now we can use one of these 5 bottom actions because we used the card here at the bottom, right? To do that. And I will just add another coral die. So we roll that one. That is a 6. That's not too bad. That's good to keep. And that was that. So what else can we do? We need some plankton here, right? So I will just use that plankton card here to put some plankton here. So that we need 5 here. We do have that. That is great. And then here I will use that card to remove an invasive species. So we can remove that one, so we are safe for now. Otherwise it would spread, right? Wherever there are invasive species at the end of the round, we need to add more to that chip. And we don't want that because it starts spreading and then you can't get it under control. And I think that is pretty much it. This one doesn't really help us here. And so I think we're doing fine. I don't want to turn over any further cards, otherwise I will have to remove invasive species again. I don't want to do that. Yeah, and that's where we'll end the round. So now we have the end of round triggers, right? So first we will feed. So let's feed our fish. You see here we only have fish cube. We only have species cubes in the middle. Oops, what am I doing here? This is a joke. I can't just do a regular recording without any mishaps. But okay, I mean, you're used to that if you know my channel. So back to the important matters. So we have only species die in here. We don't have any up there, not in any other circles. So we just need to feed those. There are five circles here, so we need a 5. We have that, so that is great. So this one we took from up there. So we can just re-roll that and put it back in the tank. Now it's only a 4, so we will have to place maybe 2 dice or take that 6 here, although I'd like to keep that one. So if we are not able to feed those, these dice that are in circles that cannot be fed are returned to the tanks. And dice that are in the tanks that cannot be fed are reduced by 1. And if they are back to a value of 1, then they go back into the tableau here. So we need to be careful, right? Otherwise everything is going back. All right, so that was that. Then invasive species multiply. We don't have any, so that's cool. And now we do all the end of round stuff. So our cubes go back. I already rolled the plankton die. That is fine. We advance the round tracker, and then we take all the cards, we shuffle them, and then we deal them out again just like we did. Oh, these were 2 invasive species. So good, I didn't draw any more cards. Because there are 4 invasive species in the deck, right? And yeah, so if we know that we have let's say we got all the 4 invasive species already, then we can draw cards without any risk because because we already did have all invasive species. Okay, so you see this is quite a long game. I will try to hurry up a little bit more. Oh no, because now you know how the game works, right? And I will finish playing it and hope that I can actually win. This is a very tough game to win. But Terra Jewels, the game by Kevin Preval I showcased last year, wasn't much easier either. Was it last year or this year? I think it was last year. Take a look at this. This is incredible. There are so many invasive species here. Already 2. If there's just 1 more in the discard pile or 2, then I think we can draw cards like we want to. All right, so this one here, there is the color red. So we start here. We go clockwise. Right there again. Invasive species. This one here, yellow. So we start down here and we put 1 invasive species there. So if we take a double action down here with invasive species, then we can remove these 2, right? That would be great. Okay, you know what? I will draw new cards because there aren't too many invasive species left here. Right? Note that these cards are only for the bottom and these are only for the top, of course. Okay, good. So let's continue. So what do we do? I want to remove these invasive species later on. This card here would be great to get down here. But first I need to clear up a few cards. So let's see. Place 1 here. Place 1 coral species die in a coral restoration tank. These are the coral restoration tanks. So we can take a die down here. Let's take a green one. Yeah, let's take this one. And put a green die down here. Because this only costs 1 plankton. That is no problem at all. And then I would like to get that card down here. So let's see if we can do that. Not yet. But I will wait for now. Oh, I would like to have that one at the bottom as well. Oh, these are all on the wrong, and this one as well. They are all in the wrong area. That is pretty bad, but okay. That's the way it is, I suppose. But we can do that here too. No, we can't reintroduce the chorus species. We need to increase the die first. Do we have anything with a green die? We don't. Let's draw another card and see what we get here. Not too good. Yeah, we don't need any of this stuff here. That is not helpful at all whatsoever. There's nothing we can do. Okay, so what I will do is I will just take this card because this is really useless and just use that to no, wait. Actually, no, actually, yeah, that's fine, I think. 2, 3, yeah, that's fine. I will use that to place a plankton from down here, and I will take a 2 and put that here. So we still need 3 to feed those. And then I will take, which one doesn't help at all? This one doesn't help. I will take, reintroduce one fish species. Might be helpful later on. And these are one down there. But still, I will, reintroduce one fish species would be great. Let's take this one here for another plankton from up here and put that there. So these fish, these species are already fine. And then let's draw new cards. Okay, that's the last or second last invasive species. That's green, so that is right there. Okay, and now we will do it a little bit differently. Now we don't have too many issues with drawing cards anymore. So let's see. Take an action card from, reintroduce one core species into the reef. We can't do that yet either. You know what? We will have to do a few things. We have to do things a little bit differently, I think. So what I will do is I will use this one here, transfer up to 2 core species. No, I mean this one here. This one lets us take another card, another die, and then let's take the blue one, put it down here. We will have to feed that later on, but we are still doing okay on that. And you see now this column is empty, and there is a tool cube at the top. So we get another tool cube that we can put in the top. So that is not too bad. That is definitely going to help us. And then I would like to reintroduce a chorus species here, but I can't yet. This one we need to get up to a 4, which we can do with these levers here, right? With a tool cube. But then I can't, and I could reintroduce it then. That might be an idea. That would be blue 4. We can put that there, and these are already fed. So I think that is great. That is genius. So let me put that here to raise that to a 4. And then I will take this card here, reintroduce one core species into the reef, and put that there. Great. And now the church bells are ringing. Let me see how loud these get. I think at the moment it's still okay, so I will continue recording because a few of my subscribers have already said just to continue recording with the church bells are ringing. So let's try that. And if it really annoys you, let me know. I might still stop the pause the recording if it annoys me too much, but at the moment it's still okay. So let's draw more cards. Cool. That is perfect. Remove 2 invasive species from the reef. That's what I'm going to use immediately to remove these 2 here. Oh, hopefully there's no more, not one there, but I think that should be okay because at the top we can still use something else, so that should be okay. So these are removed. Great. Wonderful. We can't do anything here really. What we could do is just use that card. Yeah, well, but invasive species. Well, we can remove one here. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So let's use this one here to put another plankton here because we also need to feed that one. Because we can't reintroduce it yet. So, and then let's see up here. We can't reintroduce anything yet. What we could do is repeat the top fish action in the discard pile, so we can just remove that invasive species. I think that's what I'm going to do. Well, but actually, no, I will do it differently. I will put that here, so we can give a card to the bottom here, and I will put that at the bottom here. And then here I can use that, advance the research track 2 spaces. That is great. We want to research as much as possible, really. So research is really important. At least that's what I think from my experience. Oh, we can place a fish species die. We will definitely do that. Let's take a red one would be great, right? So we could just finish up that one here. Let's take a red one, put it there. We have to increase it to a 5 later on, but I think that's going to be okay because you see here, increase health of any red fish species die by 1. So we can increase that to a 3. And then I will use this plankton here, for example. Well, let me see. Be great to put another cube there, but I can't. Let me see if I can do anything good here. Not really, no. So, okay. What did I want to do? I wanted to reintroduce the fish species. No, I can't. Wait, what did I... Now I completely forgot what I want to do. I increase the health of that one, and then I will need to take one of these, right, to put some plankton here. Let's take the one, and I think that's pretty much all I can do. I do have a tool cube still here. What do we do with that? Well, I could put another die here, right? I could put another die here. I could feed it with the plankton, but then we would also have a lot of dice already. You know what? No, I'm going to put that here because I still have the invasive species. I thought I already took that off, but I guess I didn't. So, and now we are okay with these cards. I can't really do anything, so that is it. So now it's feeding time. This one is fine. That's a 1. That one is fine. That's a 2. That's even more. And the 5 here, I got that as well. So everything is good. Then no invasive species that we can multiply. So let's re-roll all the dice. First the 2 for the top. That's a 1 and a 3, which is not too great. And the 2 for the bottom, which is a 4 and a 3. Wonderful. Then we retrieve all our tool cubes. We advance that one here, and then we do our card thing. All right, so that's 2 of 8 rounds. But it's now gonna get faster. I suppose this video will be about an hour long, maybe a few minutes longer, because I still want to give you my first impressions after having played the game. Okay, so let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. No invasive species yet, which is okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So usually in the rules it said you put 8 cards there, 8 cards there, and then you turn over 4. But it's much faster if you do it like this. And it doesn't matter, I mean, the cards are supposed to be shuffled anyway, right? So it does not matter in which direction I do it, in what fashion. Okay, so I don't know how many invasive species are in here, but I know that we have 1 here. So we first need to deal with that. That is red. So we start here and go to red, which is over there. Always the red one. That one is always getting invasive species. Okay, and then I will just draw another card. Well, but let's not yet. Let's first see what we have here. So I want to increase that die, but I can't at the moment. I could with that one to a 4, which is not enough, but I could put 2 here. And then we could increase it to 5 and introduce it down here. Can we introduce it yet? No, we can't. We don't have any cards for that. Do we have any down here? We don't either. Okay, so that is going to be a little bit tough. I really want to introduce it down here, so we will probably have to do something here. Move an action card to the color restoration tableau. Might be an idea. We could, the green one, we need to get that to a 5 or 6 because the 4 is only at the top, so we can't do that. 5 or 6, that's a lot. You'll probably not be able to do it this round. I don't think so. We only have 1 tool cube, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to move an action card to the color restoration tableau, and then I will move that one down here, just to be safe that we can remove 2 invasive species later on. I think that is not a bad thing. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do. And then let's start with a little bit of plankton, I'd say, right? So let me use this one here and put some plankton here. That is okay for now. Because we need 5, I don't have 5, I don't want to use a 6 yet. I really want to keep that for an emergency. I would draw another card here. No, that's an invasive species. So green, that is right there. Okay, but we do have the remove 2 invasive species from the reef. I will use it immediately, so just that they are gone, yes. Okay, and then I will draw more cards. I will draw one more at least here, and I will draw one more here, and then see what we get. Advance the research tag 2 spaces. I will use that immediately as well. Okay, this one could be helpful. Let me see. Reintroduce. We can't do that yet. Okay, then. Yeah, then let's draw another card here. Let's draw another. Let's see, and let's draw another card here. Increase health of any red fish species type by 1. That is great. So we can increase that to a 4. So we need to increase it to a 5 now to be able to place it in here. But I really need to reintroduce the species there. So let's draw a card from the bottom here first. That would be another research track thing. That is not too bad. You know what? I will move an action card to the fish restoration tableau, and then we'll use that one to advance the research track 2 spaces. So we're at the top again. In order to get back to the bottom, we need to spend another research point. And now we use the top one, so we can use one here. And I will definitely take that plankton die. That is going to be helpful, even if it's just a 2. But a 2 is just what we need for that one here. Okay, so now we need to be a little bit careful, because we definitely need to feed a lot of stuff here still. So let me put one here. That reintroduces 1 fish species into the reef. That's it. So I will use 1 tool cube to increase that to a 5, and then we'll reintroduce that one down here, because now we don't have to feed there anymore. That is good. That is really good. So and now we still need a 2 here. We can take one from up there. So let's take that plankton one here and put that here, and then let's see. Yeah, that is all okay. That's all totally fine. I will take this one here to put a, well, I don't have a 1, so let's put a 3 here. Okay. I will not draw that card, because this could be an invasive species, and we are okay at the moment. We have 4 of 12 dice introduced, and this one is soon, kind of soon to be ready to be put there as well. But we already have 3 of 8 rounds, right? So we still need to hurry up a little bit. Okay. Is there anything else we could? Well, we still have the tool cube. So with that tool cube, I will research. No, not research. I think with that tool cube, I will increase that die by 1. And we still have a tool cube here that we can't really use, to be honest, right? Because we do have that here, right? To place a die from there to here, but then we would have to feed it. And I don't have a card to feed. Oh, well, wait. No, we can do that. Put that there. And then, I don't know, let's maybe do something like the 4, for example, because that doesn't need a lot of plankton. Or we could start working on those, because then we can combine that, right? That might also be an idea. Yeah, let's take then the, I don't know, a yellow one. Let's take a yellow one, because then we can increase the health of the yellow fish species by 1. I will do that immediately. And then here take a action card from the coral restoration tableau. So I can take a card from here, and now we can use a plankton right there to feed it. Whew. I think we did everything we could. There's 1 card left. I'm afraid this is an invasive species. We can't do anything else anyway, so that is fine. So I will end the round, but I still want to see what that would have been. Oh no, that would have been remove 2 invasive species, retrieve 1 tool cube. That wouldn't have helped us anyway, but it was not an invasive species. Okay, then we had at least 1 in the discard pile. Okay, so we are cool. So first feeding, fine, fine. Oops, that was fine. That was a 5. Rewind the video if you don't believe me. I'm not cheating. That was a 5. Great. So, and then no invasive species that can multiply. So let's just retrieve everything. So we have 2 dice for the top that we roll. That is a 3 and a 4. That is not great, but it's okay. And these 2 for the bottom. Plankton tank. Okay, I'm happy that I kept the 6 here. I will need that at some point. Okay, and then we retrieve our tool cubes. 2 more dice and I will get a tool cube for the bottom as well, because I need another one there. What else? Next round and the cards. I think that should be all. Yeah, now you saw 3 rounds of 8. You kind of know how the game's played now. Yeah. So I would just continue playing. If you don't want to watch the entire rest of the playthrough, I would really, really appreciate it if you did. But you don't, because you don't have the time or the stamina, or just watching a little bit of gameplay is enough for you, or maybe you're bored of me. Then you can also use the timestamps to jump to my impressions that I will give you after I have finished playing. There's a lot of invasive species. Oh my. Okay, that is 3 of 4 invasive species already. If there's just one more in the discard pile here, which I don't know, then we can draw cards as many cards as we want to. So red, that will be here, of course, as usual. Then this one here is yellow, which is here, and the other one is blue, which is there. Okay, so we have 3 invasive species we need to get rid of immediately. You know what? Let's draw more cards, because, well, we got 3 or 4 invasive species. Maybe there's one in the discard pile, then we don't have any left here, so we can now really go all out. And I think I will try to do as much as I can this round. And I definitely want to get that tool cube. Maybe we can do that by removing dice here. Okay, so let's see. This one I want to increase to a 6, which we can't do yet. Well, we could do it with the 2 tool cubes. Let's wait for that. We do have a yellow. We do have that here. Increase health of any yellow fish die. So you know what? I would do that here. Take an action card from the Coral Restoration tableau. Good. Yeah, exactly. And then move it there, and then we can increase the health of any yellow fish die. So that is at a 4 already. Just 2 more. Okay, so take an action from the here. Introduce 1 coral species into the reef. This one we need to increase to a. Let's increase that to a 5, I would say. But we can't do that yet. Let's draw more cards and see what we get. Top coral action, not that interesting. Advance the research track. I would definitely do that. I will advance the research track 2 spaces. That is important. And also I will remove 2 invasive species. Well, there is certain the possibility that we get another one at the top here. So I will wait for that. So this one has a 4. We need a 5 for that. You know what? Let's draw another card here. Let's see what that is. Reintroduce 1 fish species into the reef. We could pretty much do that if we just use those, right? Because we had that yellow one, and I think there aren't any other yellow ones. I'm not quite sure. I don't think so. So we can only increase that by doing that. So I will use these 2 tool cubes to increase that to a 6. And then I will use that one here to reintroduce 1 fish species into the reef and put that here. So now we have 5 of 6 in there. I want to increase that to a 6 if possible. Only to a 5, which is possible to introduce that there. And I already have the reintroduce 1 coral species into the reef down here. So that is good. Okay, let's draw another card. The last one for the top here. Okay, we don't have any yellow dice at the bottom. Remove 2 invasive species. There's another one of these cards. And we can't add any at the top anymore because the deck is empty. So let's take this one here to remove these 2 invasive species for now. We still have 1 down here. But we will be able to remove that with that one if worst comes to worst. So is there anything? There isn't a whole lot we can do at the top anymore, to be honest. Can we get another die there? We could. We could. We could somehow. We could put a tool cube there to get that card up here to get another die in here. That would be possible. But then we can't increase that die anymore. But I think I'm still going to do that. I'm going to bring that up here and then place one fish species die in a tank here. And then let's take a, I think I'd like to take a blue one there. Okay, we still need quite a lot of plankton, but I think I have it under control. I hope. Oh, I took a blue one, so I can actually increase the health of the blue one. Oh. Okay, let's see what we have here. So now I really need to be careful because we still need to somehow feed everything. So I will take this one here to remove. You see that one here? We can remove one invasive species. So I can do that. And then we have a lot of plankton and I still want to increase that die. And then I think we are fine for this round. So we need a 1 down here. So I will use that one to just put the 2 here. So then I will take this one here to put a 3 here. Oh, can we do that? Then I will use that one here to put a plankton with 4 right here. That is enough. We need 4. And then we need 5 more here. Would I take 2 dice or these 6? I really want to keep these 6. So I think I will take these 2 to put 2 plankton dice here. And this one increase the health of any blue fish species. So that is up to a 3. We need it up to a 5 later on. Okay, take a look at this. Doesn't look too bad, does it? Okay, that's the end of the round. I did pretty much everything I could do. So we feed everything. That is fine, 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 and super fine. And invasive species, nothing to multiply. That is wonderful. Okay, then take back the tool cubes. We roll the plankton dice. So 2 for the top. That is okay, I suppose. 2 for the bottom. Okay. So far we have everything under control, but it will just get harder. I think my problem will not be invasive species. My problem will be time, because you see here we already are on 5 of 8, and I have not enough dice there. So that is pretty bad. Oh wait, there's one missing down here. Okay, that is pretty bad. Oh no. Let's see what we can do there. So we have 5 more dice we need to get in here and down there. So there are 7 more dice we need. We only have 5 of 12 at the moment. So that was wonderful. Good job, Solitaire. Good job. This is your calling, obviously. Okay. Oh, let's do that. Just a rough shuffle, that is fine. Because you see that I usually go through all cards anyway. There are just very few rounds where I don't go through all the cards. Oh, no invasive species so far. Oh. Put those there, put those there. And 1, 2, 3, 4. No invasive species at all. Wow, that is pretty crazy. So we have all invasive species either here or there. Wow. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. I still want that research track, but maybe we should focus on getting dice in here. So you know what? I will start immediately by placing 1 fish species die into a restoration tank, because we really need to get going now. So let me use that to take a die. Green, yeah, green is fine. Just because then I can get that tool cube here, down here. So we have 1 more here. That is wonderful. Okay, so this one has a 4. We need that up to a 5. We don't have anything to increase that now. I could just increase it now and then put it there. So we just have it, you know. But I can't put it in there anyways because I don't have the right card for that. There's one up there that I need. Okay, that is pretty stupid. But we can take a card from the fish restoration tableau. You know what? I'm going to do that. Then I will put that down here. I will increase that die here by 1. And then I will use this one here to reintroduce that die there. Maybe we should not have taken the green one, but a red one instead, but okay, whatever. Okay, so that is good. Let's continue. That is an invasive species. That is yellow will be here. Okay, then let's draw another card. Invasive species. So that is blue. All right, you know what? Let's just draw all cards now. Okay, and let's draw another one down here as well. Okay, so let's see. We definitely need more dice, and we need to feed them all somehow. So let's see. Reduce one fish species. We can't do that yet. We need that up by 2. And we can hardly do that with regular means. So I will just increase that by 2 with these 2 tool cubes. And then I will reintroduce it down here. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 7. Now we have 7 dice down here, but we also need to feed everything. Let's see if we can somehow do that. Let's see. Not too great. Yeah. Okay, let's start feeding, I'd say. So let's, because these are all not that interesting. Oh, we also need to remove the invasive species. What did I do there? That should be a brown or black one. So let's use this one here to put a plankton die there. Then let's use this one. I can't remove invasive species yet because there might be more coming out. So I will wait for that. Okay, so, and then down here, let's see. So this one could be interesting. I don't know. This one is not interesting at all for now. Not at all. So I can use that one to put some plankton here. We need 4, 5. Let's put a 5 right here. Then let's draw another card. Remove 2 invasive species. We will keep that for now as well. This one is not really interesting either. So let's take this one and put another plankton. We need 4, 4. There's 4, 4 actually, right? Then let's do like this. Let's put a 3 there and use this one here to put a 2 there as well. And then we just need a plankton here. Okay. Oh, this could be an invasive species. You know what? Let's draw everything. Oh, fine. That was actually lucky. Then I will use, let's see. Well, we still have this one here, right? We still have this one here. But that only lets us take a card, which I don't want. I want to give a card. Well, okay, so let's see. What do I want to do? I want to put plankton here and then just see what we can do, right? Retrieve 1 tool cube. Yeah, there's not a whole lot I can do at the moment, really. I can't really transfer cards either. So, okay, then I will advance the research track here 2 spaces. Like this. I will remove 2 invasive species, which I can't really. Yeah, I will. And I still need feed. Yeah, there's no other way to do it. I will have to use that one to remove that species here, and that one to remove that species there. And then I can't do a whole lot anymore. Then I will have to use plankton down here. That is really bad. I don't like that because that's the 6, but I will have to put it there. No other way to do it. And I think that's pretty much it, because I can't feed anything down here anymore, so I cannot place a species down here at the moment. I would really love to do that, but I can't. Okay, so that's it. So we have fed everything. That is fine. That is fine. Fine. That is all good. We have no invasive species that multiply, so that is okay. So let's first roll that one for the top. A 6, that is good. And for the bottom, please, like a 6 and a 5 would be great. And that is not great what I'm having here. Oh, that could really be our downfall now. Okay. And now the search buttons are going off again. Oh, and this time they're really loud. So let's see what I can do with that. I might have to... Oh, I forgot to do this one here. Because then I could have actually... Oh no, I didn't have any plankton. Is there anything I could have done? Yes, I could have taken a species die and then fed it with that plankton that was still lying here, but no, I didn't have any plankton dice anymore. Well, let me just advance the research track once. That's one thing I could have done, right? Because that's not fair, not being able to use that tool cube, because this game is tough, as you can see, and I don't want to lose any actions. Okay, I think we are done with everything now. So only 3 more turns, and there are still 5 dice missing. Yeah. Yeah, that will be really tough. I think Terror Jaws, the game by Kevin Prival I played last year, I think I think I won, but in the last turn, is that? I think so. And it looks like it will be different. It will be similar here, that I win or lose in the last turn. So let's see. Ah, yeah, the church bells, my best friends. Okay, we have already 3 invasive species here, so we can probably draw as many cards as we want to. All right, so let's resolve all of that. So it's red will be here. Blue is, so not a die. So it will go to a chip without a die first, right? If possible. And then yellow here. So we have a lot of invasive species here. You know what? I'll just keep drawing cards because, yeah, we will need that. Okay, so plankton dice, that will be pretty. I will have to feed mostly from the top here. Okay, so let's see. A red one would be great. Getting a red one. We can do that actually. We can just take this one here, right? Get the red one down here, and then take this one here to increase the health of that one immediately. Because we need to get that up to a 6. It's only at a 1 at the moment, right? So that is going to be a long way there. So, and then we already have all the cards for down here. Okay, we can reintroduce it, but not at the moment because we still need to really raise the value here. Okay, so what else can we do? We can not take a die from here, but we have that one. Yeah, we have that one, right? We have that one. We need to increase that to a 4. We can do that with these 2. Theoretically, right? We could do that. But we also have that green die here, right? That would be an idea to actually get that card up there, but then we would have to use a lot of cards. I don't know if that really makes sense. So I think what I'd rather do is just use these 2 here to increase that to a 4. And then use, which card doesn't matter, I think. No, it doesn't really matter. This one here to introduce it back into the reef, like this. I think that's not too bad. So now we have 4 dice missing. 1 is already here. Okay, so we could use this card here to actually get another die down here. 3, 2, that would be okay. We would be able to do everything with the plankton, right? But we also still have the invasive species, which is an issue because we don't have a card here to remove anything. Oh, that's not too great. But let's start with some plankton. So we don't need these here for now. And then I will take let's take a 3 for that one here. Maybe I will decide not to feed these here, right? 5 and 6, they will reduce by 1 then, but I mean, yeah, I will be able to save some plankton. Let's see. This one is not interesting either, so we can use that for plankton action as well. And then let's put the 6 in here. Okay, I think that's not too bad. So let's draw the last 2 cards and see what we get here. No invasive species, that is good. We have that here with removing 2 invasive species. I will have to do that. Otherwise, I don't want it to start spreading, because then we will have more issues. I already have issues enough as it is with feeding. Okay. So, and then I also need to remove that invasive species. I can do that with this one here. So, we're fine on invasive species. We can't get any more. That is good. So, and now we need to just feed everything and then see what else we can do. So, so this one here, I will use this one to feed that one down here. Then I will use this one to feed here. And then I could use this one to feed there, but we could also decide not to feed. Oh no, these are not reduced by one. These go back to the tanks. Oh no, that is really bad. I don't want that. So I will have to feed. I don't have any other way. Well, but the plankton is here in the middle. I can feed once. I can feed twice. I could feed twice and then get the card there. I think that's what I'm going to do. It's a little bit complicated, but let me try that. Let me put this one here so I can take a card from up here. I will take this card and use this one to advance the research track 2 spaces. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. What would I do with that? Well, I could have more plankton, right? That wouldn't be too bad, would it? I think that's not too bad. More plankton. I think that's good. But I can only like distribute it across the lower ones, but maybe I can also get it up there and that would be great. I hope the charge spots are not too annoying, but as you said, I will just leave them for now and you can tell me how annoying that is. I hope it doesn't completely screw up my video. Okay, so and now we still need to feed, and we can feed here with that one. Then I will put, where do we need to feed? Up there. Then I'll put a 2 there, and then I can put that, use the tool cube there to feed one more there. So and now everything is fed, right? Yes, everything is fed. So what else do we do? That is pretty much it. Okay, so this one, everything is fed. Yeah, I managed to feed everything. That is fine. So let's roll the 3 for the fish tank up there. Oh, that is really bad. And then these 3 for the coral tank, which is better. Okay. And then what else? Next round. This is not going to go well. This is definitely not going to go well. But well, let's just try. So I just skipped the invasive species multiplying thing because, well, there are no invasive species left at the moment. But I might have to leave some, I don't know, 2 more rounds and 4 more dice to put down and feed everything. That is going to be really, really incredibly tough. I need to get the research track one more time up there so I can actually have these pips there as well. That's something that I will need. Okay, so this round, feed everything, of course, but still need to try to get these dice maybe in the tanks here. Because we don't have a whole lot of time left. So like this. Oh no, 2 invasive species already. That is not great, but that means that we can probably draw quite a few cards here. So that one is blue right there, and that one is yellow right there. Great that they're at the opposite ends. I would have liked them to actually be beside each other somehow. Let's draw 2 more cards. Oh, come on. And that's green, that's right there. Okay, you know what? Now it's all too late anyway. So, let's see what we can do. This one needs to be increased to a 6. I have no idea how I should do that. There is no way to do that, seriously. I can get it up to a 4 with these 2 here. Yes, sure. That's possible. We need to get a die in here. Can we do that? Not with that. We can't do it with that. But we need to get a die in there. And a blue or a red one. Red one is not there anymore. So a blue one, I suppose. So then, yeah. Let's take this one here to put a blue die here. Okay, cool. That is nice. Well, we could actually take a green die, but we can't put the green die down. No, we can't. Okay, so that's that. I don't think there will be any invasive species, and if there will, I don't. Yeah, then that's the way it is. I will just take this card to remove that one species up here, because these 2 I can only remove from the bottom here, So, and then let's draw another card. Okay. Let's see. We can increase that to a 2 maybe. Let's do that. We really need to get going here, otherwise it's not going to work. And then let's look down here. We can't increase anything here yet, but let's advance the research track because I want to get it one more time up there with the card up here so we can actually get that done. Okay, let's draw another card. That's the last one. Oh wait, actually, I can move an action card to the color restoration tableau, which I will do. I will move that one down here so I can remove 2 invasive species. Okay, so then let's take that one and these 2. Okay. So, and then there isn't a whole lot I can do at the moment. Increase health of any redfish species. Not too good, but we need to feed anyway. So let's start just feeding. Let's feed this one here for the one here. Then let's feed another one. And then put the 2 there. Let's feed another one. A 4 here. And then now I'm thinking, no, I can't place any cubes in there, any dice anymore. I need to place these 2 down here because there, right? So that's why this won't help us anyway at all. So let's just use that to feed that one over here. Okay, and now we have all of these cards here. Yeah, I think there's not a whole lot that we can do. Let's just feed our stuff and that's it. I mean, I could take another die in here. Do I have enough to feed then? 1, 2, 3. It could be enough. So let's take this one to take, I don't know, whatever. Let's take, doesn't matter, yellow. Let's take the yellow one and then these 3 to feed. So I will put 1 there, and the 5 up here. Okay, that's it. And I will not be able to win because this will be my last round now and I will not be able to increase all these dice to 6s and 5s, but I will still finish the game now. So everything is fed. I don't have to double check. I just know that everything is fed. Let me already roll the dice for the top. And let me also roll the dice for the bottom here. Okay. Then we will get, oh, I didn't use the two cubes here. You know what? I would have used them just to increase the dice here, right? So let me increase that to a 4. I would have done that anyway, so that is fine. Okay, and then we go up here and then we redistribute our cards. Oh, get the tool cubes back here. I sometimes forget, as you see, I sometimes forget to actually use the tool cubes here. To yeah, I just sometimes forget them. I think this game would really benefit from like maybe a small reference, just so like okay, so what do? Like play cards, use tool cubes, and then I know, oh, use tool cubes, right? And then how do you clean up and feeding and everything, like a small reference card would be great. Is there any room on the board for that? I don't know. It's kind of hard because everything is already spaced out this way, but maybe there would be some way to somehow add something like that. That could be quite helpful. Okay, so let's see. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, it's a really long video I'm recording today, and then I still need to prepare for my live stream today because I'm recording this on a Sunday, hence the church bells. And later on I will have my playthrough of Hunted Kobayashi Tower, so I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, so all right, so we can get started again. We have another invasive species here, which will be put on yellow. So here, increase health of any red coral species die by 1. Do that, put that to a 5. 1 more and we can put it there. That is wonderful. So, okay, another invasive species, which will be put over there, of course. So, we can almost reintroduce it. You know what? Let me put that here, for example, to increase that to a 6, and then use this one here to reintroduce it there. So you see 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We have 9 in there. 9 of 12. I mean, that's not too bad, right? And that's all we will get in there because, this will be need to increase to a 5 or that to a 6. And that's going to be really, really tough. Because here we have green, yellow, and red, but we need blue. The only one we don't have. Here, up here, we need to increase. Yeah, so that's pretty bad. Okay. That is really bad. Also, the exposure might be a little bit high. I'm not sure. I might have to edit that in post. Okay, so maybe I already did. So let's see. Yeah, let's just draw more cards because what can happen? Okay, so we just need to increase these dice. Remove invasive species. There isn't a whole lot we can do here at the moment. So, you know what? I will just use this one here to just take another die in here. I don't know if we will be able to feed it, but I will just try. So, and then let's start feeding stuff like this, and we can't reintroduce anything this round anyway, so let's do this. Draw 2 more cards. Invasive species, of course. Red. So now you see all reds are already, there's already dice on all the reds, so we just put one there. Okay, and I think that was all invasive species, like 3 here, and 1 was in the discard pile. I saw that, so that should be okay. So now we can remove these invasive species. So with these 2 here, I can remove these 2, and this one, with this one, I can remove that one at the top here. And so now we just need to feed everything, and that's it. So I was not able to increase any die at all, any dice at all. So this one here to put that one there. This one here to put one there. This one here to put one there. This one here, you see, I'm able to feed everything pretty much exactly. But that's it. But still, we can still do a few things. I will use this one here to increase that die by 1, and I will put these here to increase that die by 2. Okay, and now, well, feeding is fine and no invasive species, and now we would check if we, because we're in the last round, did we actually win? Oh, by the way, here, I got these 2 stars. I forgot about that. These 2 stars give us 2 more discoveries here in our research stuff, but that really wouldn't have helped us to win now anyway. We could have maybe repeated the last action with the tool cube, right? So we could have used these 2 cubes here to repeat the last action, right? And then we could have increased the dice even more, like this to a 5 and this to a 3, right? But this still wouldn't have been enough to introduce. So yeah, that's the end of the game. And we didn't do horribly bad because of the 12 species. We reintroduced 9. 1 was close and the other ones were not close. Well, that was kind of close and that not at all. And that is in the wrong tank anyway. It needs to be go down here. I didn't even see that, right? So that was a mistake on my part anyway. But that's how the game Tubbataha is played. Now, because this video is already quite long, let me just give you like my first impressions. Not a full-fledged review, but just my first impressions. So first of all, just like I think every Kevin Preval game, this is a really well-working game, right? This is really well worked out. It is quite balanced. It works. It definitely works. It just works, as Todd Howard would say. So you see that there are like a lot of small mechanisms and they all go hand in hand very well. One thing is that this game is quite complex, so I actually needed quite a while to understand the rules. They are well written, yes, they are. But although I have played the game and I know how it works, I still sometimes have to look at the rules because there's a lot of rules. Maybe it doesn't seem to you like that because you're just watching me play and everything seems really easy, but it is quite complicated to learn, and also quite complicated to play because this game is tough. This is really tough. I still don't quite know how you can win. You will probably have to risk a lot with the invasive species. I guess removing invasive species every round maybe is not the right way to go because you don't have enough actions to get all the dice here. So if I had maybe not removed like invasive species toward the end, maybe it wouldn't have been important to actually remove invasive species the last 2 or 3 rounds, right? Maybe. But then again, I wasn't that great with plankton. I would have needed that one at least up there as well, that research thing there. So I don't know. This game is really tough to learn, also tough to play, and also it is really long to play. I mean, this video will be more than an hour now. Even if I play it without telling you how it works, if I just play it for myself, I need like 45 minutes at least, maybe even an hour, right? And that's always then the question: do you like the game or the premise of the game and the gameplay enough to say, hey, 45 minutes to an hour, that's great? Or do you rather whip out another game you have at home that you like playing more, that you know better? I have no idea. This is definitely not a negative, right? I mean, this game is a full-fledged game. If you could produce it as a full-fledged game, and that would be a solo game, you would be playing for 45 or 60 minutes. It's just a longer game, right? Just so that you know that if you want to play this, you definitely need to bring some time. You need time to understand the rules, which might help if you just watch my playthrough. That might actually be faster to understand the game instead of reading through the rules completely. And also you need some time to also play it. And also play it several times because it's really tough. And if you can win when you play the game for the first time, respect. That is not bad. I definitely wasn't able to win once, right? I've played the game several times now, including this one playthrough I just filmed on camera, and it is really tough. I have not been able to win once. Tough game. But it is really nice. So the layout of the board is really good. The cards are really to the point. They are quite simple. Very simple layout, but they're really to the point. You know exactly what you can do. The symbols make sense as soon as you know the symbols. I needed a while to first understand the symbols, but as soon as you know what they mean, it's fine. There are some symbols that I would have changed maybe, right? Like this one here for increasing a die, up one. I don't know. I would have liked maybe like a die with a +1 or whatever, or maybe something in there. This one did not scream increasing a value 1 to me at all, right? So yeah, maybe that's just a personal preference, but that's one thing I didn't quite understand 100%. These hands are fine. Everything else is pretty much fine, actually. So yeah, this is really probably the most complex game I've played so far of this contest. Yeah, definitely it is. But it works really well. This feels like a full-fledged game, which is great. This feels like a really full-fledged game that you could just produce professionally, pack it up, like have like really cool, maybe like fish and coral dice somehow, like have like really cool designs, have like a great board that is like this small, like I did it, right? So let me just look at everything down here, because you might have seen it in the beginning, but it was a little bit quick because of my how fast I do my setups. But this is actually I did that a little bit thicker here, right? This is several sheets of thick paper, and then I just did it like this. It is a quad fold board, right? That's just my idea. It is a quad fold board, and if you fold that together, let me just do it like this, then you have a pretty small box here, as you can see, right? And then you just put all the dice on top, and maybe have some nicer chips, and then you put the cards right there, and then you have like a really like such a high box, maybe a few rules, have it like this, and pretty small package. And you would put some really nice dice and tokens, like have some really cool quality stuff here, and you have a full-fledged board game, right? All the other games so far I showed to you, they are really great as well, but they are of course on a much smaller scale. They're easier to learn, they're quicker to play, and they have a much smaller footprint, right? And that is pretty much where you come in, like what you enjoy more. I mean, this is a pretty minimal components as well, but this feels more like a full-fledged board game, which is great. I really like that Kevin Preval, again, he did it again, came up with a really cool board game that feels like like really well thought out and everything, and really complex. Great. Also, what I need to mention is the theme is great. I really like the theme, like all this nature stuff. He does a lot with that, and I love that, right? Like nature, animals, eco-friendliness, like all of these things are just, yeah, it's just these games already have like a bonus because I just like the theme, and the theme really works well here with the reintroducing the fish species, which makes sense because we are really messing up the entire planet Earth, also the seas, right? So it makes sense to make such a game. This game thematically is great, makes a lot of sense, and it works really well with the invasive species and everything. So really well done. The theme just ties in really well into the gameplay as well, so I really like that as well. Yeah, this wasn't a really real review, but as I said, I'm not reviewing any games that are still in process, but really well made. This took me a long time to understand, to play, to learn, and to film, and probably also to edit, but I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're still watching, thank you so much for doing so. I really appreciate that. If this is the first time my videos you're watching, why don't you head over to my channel? There are lots of other videos that you might enjoy. The count is in the hundreds, so there's bound to be something that you will at least remotely enjoy, I hope. And if you enjoyed this video, why don't you let me know by liking and commenting? And if you like my channel enough, maybe, like altogether, why don't you show me that by subscribing? That would be great. It would be great to have you as part of the community, especially if you head over to my Discord server, where we will discuss everything regarding board games. At the moment, in the movies and TV channel, we're actually doing like a little quiz, like trying to explain movies in a kind of weird and bad way, and everybody's trying to guess what movies we are referring to. That's pretty funny. I don't know if we are still doing that when you join the server, because I will release this video in a week, and I don't know if we are still doing that then, but we are having a lot of fun over there, so it'd be great to see you there as part of the community as well. Alright, thank you so much for watching. That is all from my side, and I will see you in the very next video. Alright, take care everyone, and cheers.